සමබර සහ සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න ජීවන රටාවක් පවත්වා ගැනීම සඳහා කොහොමද තරුණ තරුණියන් අද කාලේ මොකද වගේ මෙසේජ් එක අවවාදයකට දෙන්න පුළුවන්?
Get off your mobile phone.
So there's a variety of scope in this fitness. Does it segregate based on sport, based on body, based on the individual, based on the motive of what they want to accomplish?
Exercise accommodates your lifestyle. ඉන්න කැප කරලා කිසිම දෙයක් කළ නොහැක.
Welcome, and once again we're back with a very inspiring personality, Thanura Abeywardena. Welcome. How have you been?
I have been good. Thanks for having me here.
And what's new? What have you been up to these days?
Well, I run a business. I run TAS Private Limited. So it's been quite tough these days with the current economic situation, but also it's been interesting because we try to find different avenues to get things done according to work. So that's what's new.
ඔයා රට කීප සැරයක් නියෝජනය කරලා තියෙනවා. වෝටර් පෝලෝ වලට ඒ වගේම ස්විමින් වලට. මොකක්ද හැරවුම් ලක්ෂ්‍ය? ඔබේ ජීවිතේ හැරවුම් ලක්ෂ්‍ය ගත්තොත් දැන් අද ට්‍රේනර් කෙනෙක් වෙලා ඉන්නවා. අවුරුදු කිහිපයකට කලින් ඔබ රටත් නියෝජනය කරා.
ඒක හොඳ ප්‍රශ්නයක් because 1998 තමයි මම පළවෙනිම වයස 14 කරි 15 කරි තීනුම් වලට ලංකාව නියෝජනය කරේ. ඊට පස්සේ මං කීප වතාවක්ම ලංකාවේ ටීම් එකේ නියෝජනය කරත් ලංකාවේ ඒ කාලේ තත්ත්වය අනුව අපිට ලංකාව පිටට නියෝජනය කරන්න බැරි වුණා. මොකක්කනි හේතුවකට ඒක කැන්සල් වෙනවා. 2001 වෝටර් පෝලෝ එකත් ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නකොට ඒක කැන්සල් වෙනවා. දිගටම ලංකාව ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නවා නමුත් යන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ අන්තිමට මට තීනුම් සහ වෝටර් පෝලෝ නැෂනල් ටීම් වල මම හිතන අවුරුදු ගාණක් ඉඳලා ටුවල්ස් එකයි යන්නම්. ඊට පස්සේ මං කෝපරේට් වර්ල්ඩ් එකට යනවා. හැබැයි ක්‍රීඩා මගේ ඇඟේ දිගටම තිබ්බ. මං කෝච් කරා ආරෝහණය කරා. අන්තිමට මට හිතුණා මට ක්‍රීඩාවෙන් සෑහෙන දුර යන්න තිබ්බා. තව පොඩක් දැනුම තිබ්බා. ඒ නිසා මම අවුරුදු ගාණක් ප්‍රයිවට් කම්පැනි එකක වැඩ කළා. සල්ලි ටිකක් හම්බ කරලා ඕස්ට්‍රේලියාවට ගියා පළවෙනි BSc එක කරා.
ඉගෙන ගන්න.
ඔව් ඉගෙන.
Hari, you facilitate Sri Lankan athletes in terms of conditioning, fitness rehabilitation, sometimes even injury. Overall, if the injury has happened, how a particular sportsman needs to train, overall fat loss, weight loss, body toning, functional training. So there's a variety of scope in this fitness. How does it accommodate this particular scope for each individual? Does it segregate based on sport, based on body, based on the individual, based on the motive of what they want to obtain?
So there are so many permutations and combinations in that question itself. So let me segregate it in two ways. So one is athlete and non-athlete, right? Yes. So athlete, non-athlete is more of a lifestyle, more of wellness. It should be emotional, spiritual, health, how can I say, environment, social, all those things should come together as one for a transformation. May it be body, may it be lifestyle, may it be work, may it be mental health or motivation, you name it. So all those need to come in. So when we have a fitness session or group sessions, we get like-minded people training together, motivating each other, which creates community and social. They go meet outside exercise, they go for a drink. All that happens within a recreational setting. But when it comes to sport, it's slightly different because the objective is different. You have a very stringent goal or very strict goal and you want to achieve it. So the entire dynamic changes. And then how it changes, the entire life is centered around the sport. Whereas in recreation, exercise accommodates your lifestyle. That's the main difference in terms of sport and recreation. And at the same time, within that context, the body type, it can be endomorph, mesomorph, or ectomorph, or whatever type of body you have, whatever lifestyle you have. Like you previously said when we were having a chat before, your condition, medical condition, you might have diabetes, you might have cholesterol. So all those permutations and combinations falls within that scope as well. So then everything should change according to that. Even for an athlete, it's different. So if you take a boxing athlete or a karate where weight is concerned, then there's a huge concentration, even rowing, there's a huge concentration on weight and balance. But if you take a sport like rugby or soccer or I would say basketball, where weight might not be a concern as much, then the entire dynamic changes there as well. So to answer that question, my final answer would be there are massive permutations and combinations when it comes to athletes and recreational people. So yes, it is individual, it needs to be individualized, but also it needs to have an overall objective.
Alright. ඔබේ හදවත ස්පර්ශ කළ සංවේදීව මොහොත මොකක්ද? ඒ වගේම ඔබේ ජීවිතයේ උතුම්ම අවස්ථාව මොකක්ද?
I think so සංවේදීම මොහොත මම සංවේදී පුද්ගලෙක් නෙමෙයි. ඒක තමයි ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ. නමුත් සංවේදී මොහොත තමයි I think මගේ ළමයි හම්බෙන. ඒක තමයි මගේ සංවේදීම මොහොත. උතුම්ම මොහොත, greatest moment.
Yes.
So I would say the greatest moment was the turnaround of my life when I was in Australia is the shock that I got that okay, now I have to live life. Okay.
The reality
of what it is. Because here it is cushioned. I was not married then, I was living at my parents' house, so everything was okay. But when I went there, I think it stuck to me. Okay, you need to wake up.
ඔයාට ඔයා විතරයි ඉන්නේ.
Yes, that is probably the greatest moment of my life in terms of changing my life.
So we have a little bit of a fun segment where you have to answer me in one word. It's a rapid fire.
Difficult.
Spontaneous answers.
Okay.
What is your favorite destination to travel?
Within the country or overseas?
Within the country, locally.
Favorite destination to travel? Within the country, let me answer it fast. Down south.
Okay. කවුද එක්කන් යන්නේ?
Wife and kids.
Nice. Funniest sportsman you met?
Funniest sportsman I met. Does it have to be a famous person?
No.
Or
As long as it's a sportsman, totally fine.
sportsman, but can it be school level or?
No problem. School is also fine.
Oh, super. The funniest sportsman I have met is one of my best friends and colleagues who played water polo with me.
Okay.
I will name him so that when he sees it, he will laugh at it. He's Lakshita Koskoregi.
I'm pretty sure I will have many discussions after this as well. වැඩිපුරම කන්න කැමති කෑම මොනවාද?
වැඩිපුරම කන්න කැමති නම් meat තමයි. Any kind of meat.
Do you cheat? How often do you cheat?
Well, Saturday is my cheat day where I go bonkers with it.
Most used application on your phone?
WhatsApp, because it's predominantly work. Work is on WhatsApp, so tough.
Everything basically.
Everything is on WhatsApp.
වැඩිපුරම කැමති බලන්න comedy movies ද action movies ද?
I like to watch non-serious action movies where it will not make me stressed out.
A role model that inspired you?
Well, that's a tough one because there are a lot of people, but when I started test, so one word answer. So Mr. Iran Durnaga.
All right. Your go-to motto?
Nothing is impossible. Literally nothing is impossible.
And you have followed it throughout?
Throughout.
Great. Let's go in for a quick break and come back.
Dine with Sporty.
All right. Once again, we are back with Dine with Sporty. Thanura, I'm going to put you on the spotlight and we have a snack coming, which is great. You can eat and answer this question to me. ඔබට මං කාන්තාවන් තුන් දෙනෙක්ගේ නමක් කොට කියනවා. කාන්තාවන් තුන් දෙනාගෙන් ඩේට් එකක් යන්න තිබුණොත් කාත් එක්කද යන්න කැමති? මං ඒ තුන් දෙනාගේ නම දැන් කියනවා. Mrs. World 2020 Caroline Jury, she's the first one. දෙවනියට සංගීතා වීරරත්න. තුන්වෙනි එක්කෙනා Jacqueline Fernandez.
You're putting me in trouble.
Yes, දැන් ගෙදර යන්න හම්බෙන්න.
So Jacqueline Fernandez.
Jacqueline Fernandez. Any reason?
I think she's the youngest out of the lot. I think, I'm assuming.
Caroline is younger.
Oh dear me. I didn't know.
Very young.
Okay.
She's below 30.
Oh really?
හරි. නෙක්ස්ට් එක ඔබ අතීතයේ එක් දෙයක් වෙනස් කිරීමට නම් අවස්ථාව තිබුණොත් ඒක වෙනස් කරන්න. මොකද්ද අතීතයේ වෙනස් කරන්න කැමති එකම දේවා?
අතීතයේ යම් දෙයක්. One thing that would have changed my life.
In the past.
I would have got into this field very much sooner. Because I got into this field probably මම මේකට අපේ වයස 28 දී තමයි මම පළවෙනි ඩිග්‍රිය කරන්න ගියේ. So ඒ කාලේ ලංකාවේ ස්පෝර්ට්ස් සයන්ස් කියන එකවත් අහලවත් තිබුණේ නැහැ මම හිතන්නේ. මම හොයාගෙන ගියේ. ඉතින් වෙනස් කරන්න තිබුණා නම් මම 19ම යනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට ආසාවක් ඇති වුණාද Tamanට ප්‍රගුණ කරගන්න ඕනේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම ස්පෝර්ට්ස් සම්බන්ධයෙන්?
correct. මට කරගන්න බැරි වුණාම ක්‍රීඩාව මට ඕන විදියට මගේ LCL ඩැමේජ් එකක් ආව ඉන්ජරි එකට ඒකට ડોක්ටර්ස් ඒ කාලේ එක්ස්රේ එකක් කරන්නේ නැහැ කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ කියලා ෆීල්ඩ් එකට දානවා. දුවන්න බෑ, මූව් වෙන්න බෑ. So ඒ වගේ දේවල් ගොඩක් වෙනස් කරගන්න තිබ්බා. මම කලින්ම ඒක දැනගත්තා නම් ඒ නිසා මම 19ම මේ ක්‍රීඩා පිළිබඳ විශේෂඥයෙක් වෙන්න යන්න තිබ්බා. 28 වෙනකන් ඉන්න නැතුව.
How focused should a routine be for a sportsman or anyone following a fitness routine? ඒගොල්ලෝගේ දිනචර්යාව ගත්තත් කොච්චර focus එකකින් තියෙන්න ඕනද?
So the science doesn't change, right? So the human body is a human body.
Yeah.
There's not much of change in terms of how it functions that you can do. So how focus depends on the objective, once again, right? So the objective for a recreational individual, maybe like you said, you want to tone,
Yes.
or someone else wants to lose weight, someone else just wants to come and exercise early in the morning before they go to work for endorphin release, for that feel good factor. Or some people are motivated by exercise. So that's the objective, right? So the routine revolves around that when it comes to recreation, right? And like I said before, recreational individuals can actually go partying or go a night out and not have adequate sleep and come and work out, which I'm not saying, please I say again, which is not the right thing to do. But one of you can come and train and get that
Body stamina, body fitness.
more than that, get that whole routine going. If I put it that way, you can go a night out, come back the next day, get that routine going, that's fine. But for an athlete, they're detrimental. Athlete does not have the opportunity to go out in the night and come and waste that particular exercise session.
Yeah.
For me, that's a waste for an athlete. Because you plan their load, you plan the right amount of training, the right amount of nutrition, the right amount of hydration, sleep, recovery, all that. And one mess up in that whole routine can mess
Impacts.
up that entire cycle. So everything goes on a cycle. Sports science kids know meso, micro, macro cycle. So it can mess up one of those cycles, right? So I can give you an example. If you're training for Olympics, it's a 4-year commitment, right? So that's how committed an athlete should be. So you can't mess up the entire 4 years. That can impact, because when it comes to Olympics, that microsecond can make a huge difference of whether you get into the team, whether you win a medal. But for recreation, it doesn't matter. Right? So routine is important. Science says the body is the same. Routine is important. However, your objective defines that routine.
ඊඩකගේ දිනචාර්යාවේ වැදගත්කම තමයි අන්න අපි ඇහුවේ. ටග්ගාලා quick break එකක් අරන් යමු.
Dine with Sporty.
Join with me is Thanura Abeywardena, the performance coach. Now we are going to wrap up with our questions, but there are 2 more left. සමබර සහ සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න ජීවන රටාවක් පවත්වා ගැනීම සඳහා කොහොමද තරුණ තරුණියන් අද කාලේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ලයිෆ්ස්ටයිල් එක ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ healthy lifestyle balance එක කොහොමද ඒක හරි රුටීන් එකකට ගෙනියන්නේ? මොකද වගේ මෙසේජ් එක අවවාද ඒකට දෙන්න පුළුවන්?
පළවෙනි එක තමයි ළමයිට කියපු නිසා I think අවවාදේ කොට දෙමව්පියන්ට යා යුතුයි. Because දෙමව්පියා ළමයා will be a reflection of the parent,
Yes.
right? So children are children because they need to experience certain things. Therefore, like all of us, like I'm also a parent, we want our children to do well in terms of education for sure. There's no argument there. But that doesn't mean that you need to give up anything in terms of their downtime, right? Because children are packed with so much of classes, may it be sport or education, doesn't matter. They don't have downtime. So relaxing time mein aapne. Also sometimes in those classes and when their routine is so packed, their sleep might be affected. Some kids might have confidence issues. So as parents, we need to understand that we need to give the kids a very good life in terms of that, because definitely the parents' genuine goal is to give them their best. But also sometimes the best might not be the best that you think the best.
It's the best version.
Right? So that is part one of my answer, right? Number two for the kids are, I know I'm going to be a broken record when I say this, get off your mobile phone, right? I think what I see is I train a lot of young kids, and before the training session they're on their mobile phone, after the training session they're on their mobile phone. I am okay with that. I am not going to be a real 1940s person saying get off your mobile phone, but there has to be limitations, right? And these days kids are more outgoing than we were before because we didn't have a place to go at our time. So that's fine. But if you're an athlete or if you're aspiring to be an athlete, they can ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් වෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවා නම් like said rightfully routine එක අවශ්‍යයි. නිින්ද අනිවාර්යෙන් අවශ්‍යයි. නිින්ද කැප කරලා කිසිම දෙයක් කළ නොහැක. Sleep is the best recovery that you can get. There's no point you go to a physiotherapist. There's no point you going to a massage therapist. There's no point you jumping into an ice bath as athletes, because that recovery is not even close to what sleep can give. For the recreation community as well, sleep is the most important thing. That's part of recovery, right? So try not to get involved with unwanted substances at a young age. You have enough time to do that when you're older and when you can't compete or when you can't study or when you are finished studying. So leave it to that. Enjoy your life as a kid. Okay, තමන්ගේ ළමයෙක් වශයෙන් තියෙන ජීවිතේ enjoy කරන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඉතුරු. So routine is important, sleep is important. Not packing your life without time is important.
අවසාන ප්‍රශ්නය. ඔබව එක වචනයකින් නිර්වචනය කරන්න කිව්වොත් කොහොමද නිර්වචනය කරන්නේ?
කිසිම දෙයක් බෑ කියන්නේ. අපේ මම ඔෆිස් එකේ ඉන්නකොටත් ස්ටාෆ් එකයි මේක කරන්න බෑ කියනකොට මම කියන්නේ මට ඒ වචනේ කියන්න එපා.
A go getter?
Yeah, go getter definitely a very hard nut in terms of go getter. Really push my staff to the brink of breaking point, because I want them to feel and do their best. Therefore, I will never back down. I think that is that also reflects at home also, which causes a bit of problem. But
Yes.
Nevertheless, that's who I am.
It's great. Thank you so much for joining us for Dine with Sporty. It was a very enthusiastic discussion. Wish you all the very best for all your future plans.
Thank you very
Thanura.
much, and thanks for having me.
All the best.
Yes.
නැවතත් මෙවැනි වීඩියෝ බලන්න අවශ්‍ය නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් පහළ තියෙන bell icon එකට click කරන්න. ඒ වගේම ඔයගලන්ට යාළුවෝ ඉන්නවා නම් ව්‍යායාම සම්බන්ධයෙන් නැත්නම් තමන්ගේ health, තමන්ගේ lifestyle එක සම්බන්ධව දැනගන්න ඕන නම් මෙන්න මේ episode එක share කරන්න. ඒ වගේම මෙවැනි පුද්ගලයන් තව අපේ episode එකට join කරගන්න ඕන නම් comment box එකට ගිහිල්ලා tag කරන්න අවශ්‍ය පුද්ගලයා hashtag කරන්න Dine with Sporty.